So what happens at the Gangotri Dham, where the main Ganga Mata temple is there, when it gets winter and it gets really cold, what happens there? Things that you might be aware is that the main Ganga Maa murti is put on a palanquin, that's a palki, and it's taken down a little bit below lower altitude to a place called Mukhba. Mukhba in November 2021, and it was a lovely visit. It is very close to Harshil. Harshil is a higher altitude place. So Uttarkashi is one of the biggest towns that comes on your way to Gangotri Dham. So it's a great place to stay for a few days. You get the various amenities and stuff. I had a homestay, so I stayed there for 3 weeks. That way one can spend time in the Himalayas, visit the most very powerful Uttarkashi Shiva temple. Uttarkashi is also like a Kashi in the sense that it is full of ashrams and stuff. And Ganga obviously flows through it, so you can go and sit by the banks of Ganga, or Bhagirathi as it is called at that point. And it's a very lovely visit. But one thing that you must do if you go to any of these altitudes is that Uttarkashi and all, while they are in the Himalayas, they are not high altitude. So one must go above to the Gangotri Dham or any of the other dhams which are there. And Gangotri is the one where the main Ganga Mata temple is there. It is also the place where the origin of the Ganga river is said to have happened. However, the actual origin is happening a little bit ahead of Gangotri, which is in Gaumukh. So you have to get down in Gangotri and then you have to trek for a while, and then you come to a place called Gaumukh, which is where the actual emergence happens, one can say above ground or something like that. So I have been to Gaumukh also, and it is a really lovely place. It's so wonderful. It's a little bit, that Gaumukh area is a little bit like Leh Ladakh, Spiti, where what we call as cold desert, where you know, it's just lovely. So Gangotri is a place of fascination that way, and what happens in winter, we may never have wondered about it. It just so happens that I happened to be in the area at that time, and that's when I realized that firstly the murti is brought down to Mukhba. Mukhba is a wonderful little town which has its own Devi temple, and during winters the Ganga Mata murti is brought there, but you can't see the Ganga Mata murti there because it's wrapped up in the palanquin doli. But one can visit that temple which has another Devi shrine, and it is a really lovely place. Even just the Mukhba village is a little bit on top, right below is the bank of the Bhagirathi river, and it's you know, those white pebble areas there with the river flowing between. It's really surreal. And that area has some other powerful temples also. There is Annapurna Devi temple, which I was very fortunate to visit, because when I went to Mukhba, I met the priests over there, who then went to the Annapurna temple, which is Annapurna Devi temple, which is right on the banks of the Ganga river. It's picturesque, like totally picturesque. And on the opposite side, at I think it's just next to Harshil, there is Dharali or some town is there that has another shrine of Pancha Kedar. So you can see the photos of that as well. It is a very ancient looking, very nice one. The actual Garbhagriha of that Pancha Kedar is actually under water. I don't know whether that is how it's supposed to be, or whether the water just accumulated or something. I don't know. But that was also a lovely visit. There are a lot of stuff there, because when you go ahead from that place towards Gangotri, you come to Bhairon Ghati. Bhairon Ghati, the deity is Bhairav. And in Bhairon Ghati there's a huge gorge, and it was a feat of men, of humankind, to actually build a bridge over there, because that gorge is so deep, and you know, in many early days they built that bridge, and that itself is a feat. There is also from Bhairon Ghati there is one route that goes inside, where there used to be a trade route, and those people actually chiseled their way through the rock, and it is they've opened it up now, and we can Gartang Gali it is called. We can walk it up to some miles and all. But unfortunately, when I went there, it was locked because winter had already set in just a few days before I reached there. So Gangotri was also closed, and there's Bhairon Ghati, the Gartang Gali was closed. So I got a good time to visit Mukhba, visit the Devi temple there, meet the priests, visit the Annapurna Devi temple also. So it was a very lovely visit. Over there I met these priests and I came to know about what happens with the Gangotri temple, because I thought once they bring the murti of Ganga Maa down to Mukhba, then Gangotri would be closed. However, that is not the case. The amazing thing is that we actually have a few people, two people basically. I think there are 4 people, and 2 of them stay in Gangotri and then 2 of them are down, and they keep taking shifts. So constantly there is some human presence in Gangotri, and these are the priests. They are doing something. I didn't exactly get it because I'm trying to talk to that brother, but he's the Hindi and all, I'm not able to understand exactly too clearly. So but they are doing some puja for thing, and even keeping the temple open that way. And he was really nice, and he sent me some of the videos and stuff from Gangotri during peak winter with all the snowfall and stuff, and it's really amazing. It opened my eyes. I didn't even think to wonder what would be happening there during winters, but because of this, not only can do I understand what's happening, but I can see images and stuff, and it is so amazing. So they don't have any electricity and stuff over there during winters, so it's like a very rudimentary living. And I was talking to him, and very typically when people are staying for some kind of spiritual or religious reason in some very harsh climates, I have noticed commonly what they say is that just staying in that place, in that weather, in those conditions becomes the sadhana. And that's what this Anna also said, that वो ठंडी में रहना, staying in that cold itself is such a big sadhana, which totally makes sense. Another place where I have heard this was in Tiruvannamalai, where it gets really hot. I mean, it's super hot, and a lot of these devotees and all are staying in places which are pretty rudimentary, like no air condition, no nothing. So the other thing that happens in Tiruvannamalai is you have your Arunachalam mountain, which is very, very sacred, and it is a volcanic mountain. What they say is that not only does it get super hot, but the heat actually reflects onto the mountain and hits us, so it's actually double hot, because it's the normal heat of the sun plus the reflected heat from Arunachalam mountain. And Arunachalam being so holy and sacred, that heat is considered a sadhana in a deep way, and they say that heat is kind of purifying heat, like some usually that heat of that kind will cause a lot of health problems, which it did to me. I got the tummy problem and all, but it also cures a lot of people, so it is also like a miraculous heat, if one may say so. In that sense, this kind of staying of the priests in the completely snow-clad regions of Gangotri and just doing the maintenance stuff and all, I'm sure it would be a sadhana. And yeah, it is amazing. I'm so happy with all these travels and all I get to do, and I meet these amazing people, and I get to know all these things which otherwise I would never have known. I'm hoping that I can have a Atmic conversation, like a online conversation with the priests, so we can get more details about how they stay, what do they do over there, and all such things. But that could be an ensuing video. For now, you can watch all these little video clips that this brother has sent, and you can also get the idea of what Gangotri is like in winter.